minimum wage is not retrospective to the 1st of May 2018. There was a mistake in the final bill that was submitted to the President for undersigning that is currently going through a parliamentary process to rectify it. At first glance, it did seem like the wage was retrospective, but please be assured that it is not, and the Department of Labour will not be enforcing retrospective implementation of the National Minimum Wage Act. No, you may not make any unilateral changes to conditions of service when it comes to your workers. Should changes need to be made to conditions of service, please note that they need to be negotiated and agreed upon with workers. A further thing to note is that should an agreement be reached with workers for a wage that is less than what is prescribed in the National Minimum Wage Act, such an agreement will be null and void. The National Minimum Wage Act specifies a minimum working day. Now what that means is a worker will have to be paid for 4 hours whether such a worker came in for 20 minutes or not. Furthermore, on a Sunday, work is at double pay, and this is in accordance with the rules in the sectoral determination as well. So this means if a worker comes in for 20 minutes, such a worker will have to be paid for a full 4 hours. If a worker comes in for 2 hours, it will also be payment for 4 hours. If a worker comes in for 3 hours, that will change to 6 hours, and so forth. It is important that everybody takes note of this provision. The sectoral determination is about a lot more than only payments and wages. The sectoral determination looks at the full spectrum of conditions of service for farm workers in South Africa. So this means that even though the National Minimum Wage Act trumps the sectoral determination in certain respects, especially when it comes to payments, minimum working hours and so forth, the two documents need to be read as one. It is important to note that the National Minimum Wage Act also makes provision for the sectoral determination by saying that aspects like deductions, for instance, are governed by the sectoral determination rules and not by the National Minimum Wage Act. The two documents should be read as one. No, there is no monthly minimum wage. As specified in our previous video, there is an hourly minimum wage, which is 20 Rand for the country, and then of course 18 Rand per hour for farm workers. Now to get to a monthly wage, it means that each employer needs to multiply the number of hours worked by such an employee by the national minimum wage rate for that employee. For farm workers, if you look at the sectoral determination, farm workers are supposed to work a maximum of 45 hours per week. If the 18 Rand is multiplied by 45, it brings you to a weekly rate of 810 Rand. To get to a monthly rate, the sectoral determination says that such a weekly rate needs to be multiplied by 4 1/3. If you multiply 810 by 4 1/3, you come to a monthly wage of 3,507 Rand. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you have any further questions on the national minimum wage, please feel free to send them to Jahni at agrisa.co.za.